Hello everyone, I'm Sandy Baker. In 1971 I joined Channel 7, officially as a typist, but I ended up working in Children's Channel 7 and children's programs for around about 12 years on and off, and I had a wonderful, wonderful time. Now, Channel 7 did a broadcast of the opening of the Eyre Highway from Eucla. So it was the final sealing of the Eyre Highway. And it was a program, I think, that covered from the morning until the night, because I know we did a children's program from there first thing in the morning, and then in the evening they had a bit of a sort of a Tonight Show with guests and the locals coming into the pub, because I think it was shot in the pub there. And I remember it being a lot of fun, and we flew out on a light aircraft to the border, and these are photographs that were taken on my crummy little camera in those days, so they're not particularly brilliant, but it does sort of record that was a very historic event. And this is me, which you can't see too well on the border, and some of the Brian Smith and the directors and so on, and Stuart Wagstaff here with his hat on, with another one of the directors. And it was a great coup, I think, for people of Western Australia to have the road finally sealed, because it had taken so long for it to be sealed. And I think that was quite late. That must have been about 75, 76.
Network of towers gave the Cinderella State unlimited license to the world. 25 years ago, only a handful of trunk calls could be made out of Western Australia at one time. A system little changed from the days when the first West and South Australian telegraphists established repeater links in the 1870s. Time is gradually levelling the old line. Tourists hoping to catch glimpses of this piece of Australiana will have to hurry. Eucla owes its existence to the original repeater station, but it's hard to imagine the bustling 4-street town on the coast almost a century ago. Today's settlement, catering almost exclusively for the tourist trade, is perched atop cliffs over the Roe Plain at the head of the Eucla Pass. Old Eucla has fallen to the area's massive shifting sandhills. The past is buried. Crumbling walls and a couple of chimney stacks are all that remain. The two-state telegraph operation at Eucla was responsible for some legendary stories. The office was petitioned because South and Western Australia used different systems. The telegraphists may as well have been a continent apart, as they handed messages through hatches across the border for deciphering before they were sent on to each capital city. Federation and the introduction of uniform Morse code saw the petition removed. The two staffs took up positions across a central table. From Eucla, the line followed a coastal course for several kilometres, exposed to the uncertain weather of the Great Southern Ocean. Salt spray caked on the wires and sometimes cut WA off from the rest of the world for 48 hours. There were plagues at Eucla. 3 hordes of rabbits on a westerly push stripped what little vegetation there was and made way for today's giant sand dunes. Postings to Eucla lasted up to 3 years. Life on the shores of the Great Australian Bight was harsh. From the time explorer John Forrest's supply boat Adure anchored there in 1870 until the highway was built, the exposed bay and jetty have seen a steady stream of visiting supply and fishing boats. Eucla is still a base for area fishermen, but the jetty is disused, surrendering to the relentless sea.